here is day 7 of me best buddying my Eternatus and using the gold bottle cap. You know, eventually I'm gonna have to stop showing you guys a daily update, because there wouldn't really be much of an update to show. I would just be showing like, hey, I hatched 1 egg for today. Or, you know, once I'm done the eggs, it'll be collecting 10 candies, and I'm clearly not gonna do that once a day. So at some point I'm gonna stop updating you guys on that. Well, I guess I could still show you the amount of hearts I get a day. And speaking of which, I also got this today, another Hundo costume Pikachu. Caught this one in a Pokeball. Nice. Anyways, let's continue with the hunts. I, once again, have nothing to talk about today. I just don't have time. You know? I don't have time to watch all these movies that I want to watch. I work all day. I clearly ain't allowed to use the TV at night. I do this at night, you know? I don't get no days off, right? So I can't watch these films during the day. I just don't have a lot of time. Well, actually, this, for the next little while, maybe like the next month or two, I don't know yet. I noticed that Alpha Abra down there. We got a shiny Alpha Abra last time, for anyone who missed it. For the next little while, my part-time, which I do once a week, on Fridays, used to be on Monday, but then it was moved to Fridays. So my part-time, I go to once a week. I was told that because right now, summertime, it's less busy. Hopefully when back to school happens, it'll be a little bit more busy. So, boss lady's going on a trip. She's going to take advantage of this quiet season, and she's going to go on a trip. So she said that in the meantime, when she's not here, well, I don't need to go in. When she's back, when it gets a little bit busier, then she'll call me back. So for the time being, I don't need to go to my part-time Friday mornings. Which is nice. I would say I get to sleep in on those days, but well, the new job has already swooped in and taken the opportunity. Because now that I'm free Fridays, well, I got to work on Fridays. Yippee me. And you know, even like on Fridays, right? Fridays, when I work in the morning, I get off at noon, and I can come home. Well, I'm too tired to watch me some films. Mobile Twitch sucks. Yeah. Yeah, I'm too tired on Friday mornings. Because this past Friday, I had the privilege of running some errands. Running some errands after I was done my shift. I went to go pick up flowers for Toby because it was Toby's birthday. And then... So I finally got a brand new external hard drive for a somewhat reasonable price. I guess as reasonable as I'm gonna find these days. So I mentioned before, I went in person to Best Buy to see what they have. And because nothing is sacred anymore in this world, nothing is actually displayed out in the open. They have these cards that show you what product you can purchase. And then you bring said card to the workers, and they'll take it from the back to make sure you don't steal it. So when I went to Best Buy in person the other day, $400 for 3 terabytes of storage. You got me fucked up if you think I'm spending $400 on 3 terabytes. So I asked my sister, because my sister buys external hard drives way more frequently than I do. So I asked her, hey, where do you buy yours? Like, can you help me find one that's a relatively good price? Because when I went to Best Buy, oof. So she did her good deal sniffing magic, which I don't know how she does it. She went on to Best Buy, she searched it up, and she found 5 terabytes for like $280, and then after tax it was like 316 bucks. It's like, well, yeah, I'm gonna buy this right away. I need it. Also, because this was Friday, they don't ship on weekends, so I need it because my computer was out of space. So yeah, I bought it, and instead of waiting, I just went to pick it up myself. So that was this past Friday. Well, actually, I guess that was yesterday. Because today is Saturday. So that was yesterday on Friday. I had to go pick up Toby's flowers. I had to go pick up my external hard drive. I also went to the grocery store real quick. Just to see what there was for dinner. Since the grocery store was right next to the place I was picking up Toby's flowers. You see, someone like me, I don't get happy reasons to buy flowers. I don't ever have reasons to buy flowers. I don't have reasons that are happy to buy flowers. Someone like me doesn't get those reasons. Ah, you wanna know what? Speaking of which, I had this really stupid, embarrassing, and pathetic dream last night. Also, for some reason last night, I just kept on waking up periodically at night. Which really sucked, because I had to wake up early for work today. Last night, I woke up at like 3:30 in the morning. I went to use the bathroom, and then I went back to sleep. I woke up at 5:30-ish in the morning. Look at the time. Oh, I have at least like 2 more hours before I have to wake up. And then I got up at 7. But then I laid there until 7:30 before I got up. So I had this dream last night. This really weird, embarrassing dream. I'll be honest, I don't remember all the details. But other details I do remember quite in detail. So last night in my dream, I was hanging out with this random girl, just some random NPC in the back of my brain, someone who doesn't exist in real life. I have no idea who she is. In my dream, I was hanging out with this random girl. I don't remember in my dream if we met at work. I really don't remember, but it was just me meeting a total stranger, and then we started hanging out. And my memory is a little bit fuzzy. We may have only hung out for like the one day. And here I am thinking to myself, should I ask her out? Should I actually do it? And then as we were... Your brain actually can't make any new faces, so anyone you see in a dream is someone IRL. Well then, I don't know who this person is. Maybe this is someone from deep in my past, or just some random person I saw online. So haha, checkmate! So yeah, we were walking. We were about to say goodbye for the day, I guess. And I keep on, like, in my mind, I keep on going back and forth. Should I ask her out? Should I? No. And then would you believe? She actually beat me to it. In my dream, she's just like, do you want to go to that, like, I don't know, summer event thing that's gonna happen soon or whatever? Something like that. And then I ask, do you want to go out? And then I remember this detail from my dream that is, well, a strange detail from my dream. She tells me, yeah, the event starts at 6:30, so make sure you pick me up at 7:30. I'm like, wait, what? I don't know why. I don't know why in my dream that happened. Yeah, the event starts at 6:30, so pick me up at 7:30. I don't know, that's just a strange dream I had. Some random chick I met. I was going back and forth. Do I ask her out? And then she actually beat me to it. She's just like, do you want to go to that summer event thing? And then I ask. Well, if I want more moments like this to happen, I need to get into bed more, because that's clearly all these things... that's clearly all these events will happen at, in my dreams. Pathetic. Guy like me, dreaming, do I ask out this girl, and then she asked me out first. Pathetic. Loser. Oh, also today is, what, the FIFA semifinals? It was England versus I don't know who. And I think England won? I don't know, I heard the score was like 6-4. Which is like the highest score I've ever heard this entire FIFA run. Not even the government could waterboard that information out of me. Damn. Yeah, so tomorrow night should be the FIFA finals. So it's England versus I don't know who. And frankly, I don't really care. Maybe I'll tune in just to see the hype for, well, the finals. But just know my interest is not there. Are there any other sporting events like this I should know coming up? I didn't know about the NBA. I didn't know about the baseball one. I don't know these things. I don't follow sports. You know, we had some Korean food for dinner tonight. My mom has a friend who is, I guess, our accountant. And I'm not too sure if he himself is Korean, but his wife is. So she makes Korean food all the time. And then he brings it to us all the time. You know, my parents, especially mom, says, do not marry a Korean woman, otherwise you'll be eating this every single day. And I'm thinking, damn, sacrifices to be made, huh? Because we all know that Korean people are stunning. But they food... I already don't like spicy food to begin with. If I were to marry a Korean girl, which fat chance that'll ever happen, I've won, but at what cost? So anyways, we had kimchi, we had the spicy pork bone soup. Yeah, clearly I didn't even touch the kimchi, and the soup, I only had a couple sips, because I really cannot handle spicy food. I have the spicy food tolerance of a white person. In fact, one could argue my spice tolerance is worse than that of white people. And because we were given an entire tub, like an entire giant container of kimchi, it's like, well, what are we going to do with all this kimchi? No one in my family loves kimchi to the point we're going to eat all of it. And my mom even said, we don't eat, whatever we don't eat in like 2 days, she's going to throw out. Completely ignoring the fact that kimchi is fermented and can last. But whatever. So actually, my brother-in-law and I both had the same wavelength. What if we just made some kimchi fried rice? And actually, both my mom and my sister were like, "Ooh, brother, ooh." It's like, kimchi fried rice? That doesn't sound appetizing at all. Sour, spicy, and fried rice. It's like, yeah, what's wrong with that? Don't expect me to eat it, because Spice ain't for me. It's like, oh my god, can you imagine this? I saw this online a little while ago, this post saying, my biggest fear. A 10 out of 10 approaches me, but she smokes. Oh yeah, that would be pretty bad in my position. You guys know me. But imagine this, a 10 out of 10 who smokes and loves spicy food? What do I do? Again, that'll never happen. What is it? What is it? What is it? What is it? God damn it! I'm starting to think that Alpha Mime Juniors just don't appear. Because we have gotten so many of these, and none of them have been Alpha Mime Juniors. Then again, we also haven't seen a horde of Alpha Mr. Mimes yet. Alright, so let me tell you about something I just found out about. Disney actually made a character for one of their kids' cartoons named Captain Durag. I just found out about this. They made a black superhero character named Captain Durag. And from what I saw online, he doesn't fight crime, he fights grime, like cleans up messes. Cleans up filth. What is shiny? Oh my goodness. Okay, we know that shiny is there. They made a character named Captain Durag. And you know what? So, because this character debuted a couple months ago, I'm late to this. Hey, I don't watch Disney kids cartoons. I didn't hear about this. It is beautiful to see. Not the character, but it is beautiful to see Disney just completely implode on themselves. Them just doing all the stupid stuff. You know, it would have been beautiful to see Disney succeed. Give us wholesome, competent content with heart and soul, but that's not the case. Instead, it's beautiful to just watch the retards up at Disney just imploding their company. And at this point, I am just here for it. I am just here to watch. Man, what are they gonna do for an Asian superhero? They're gonna have rice somewhere in the name. It's Chopsticks Wielder. You know, I'm potentially missing out on a lot of shinies because I don't even check the initial spawns for any of these. Oh well, too bad. Because last time, after I ended, I did check the remaining spawns, and I did get another shiny Abra, just from the initial spawns. Today was also Mega Raichu Raid Day in Pokemon Go, and I missed it. I was at the new job, there's no gyms around, so I missed it. I did do one remote raid, just one. Yeah, and I got nothing good. At least I don't have to go to the new job tomorrow. At least tomorrow I don't have to wake up early. You know, the weather has been kind of crazy lately, aside from all the smoke, which, by the way, it was much better yesterday, but then it got much worse today. Today, throughout the day, we had rain, we had thunderstorms, but not only that, we also got some severe weather warnings of, well, tornado warnings. I saw and heard no tornado formation. I don't think I've ever seen a tornado in Canada before. So yeah, the weather has been kind of wild lately. And then when the weather finally cleared up, well, the air started to smell like shit again. All the smoke, which the air already smells like garbage in Toronto. The air just naturally smells bad in Toronto. When you pair that up with the wildfire smoke, mmm, what desirable odors that you want to inhale. Wow, an Eevee spawn. I should check that out. And I guess I'll bring these just in case. Is that it? I think that might be the last one. It is. Nothing special there. You know, I don't really have anything to do in this game after I'm done what I'm currently planning to do, which is this shiny alpha, finish my alpha dex, go for a particular alpha Rowlet. After that, I don't really have anything else to do in this game. I'm sure I'll think of a reason at some point. Because I just keep coming back to this game for some reason. Oh, you want to hear something that I just heard about? I watched Scott's Stash's video on what even is a Nintendo Switch 2 version of a game, and he mentioned something kind of interesting about the game Hogwarts Legacies, or Hogwarts Legacy. The fact that if you own the physical game for Switch 1, you put that game into a Switch 2, and then if you go through the convoluted system to purchase the Switch 2 upgrade, it will not just upgrade your game, it'll just download a whole separate game. It'll digitally download onto your system Hogwarts Legacy Switch 2 edition with the Switch 2 updates or whatever. And by the sound of that, it's like, wait a second, you're telling me I can get Hogwarts Legacy for free on Switch 2 as long as I get my hands on a Switch 1 cartridge. It may be digital, but like, who cares? I don't care about that game. But it's just, if I manage to get my hands on a Switch 1 cartridge without paying for it, I could get the entire Switch 2 version of the game without paying. I may have a new mission on my hands to one day complete. Like I said, I don't really care about Hogwarts Legacy. I don't really care about Harry Potter as a whole. Excuse me. Even though I have a Lego Harry Potter set, but I only got that because it was an added bonus from purchasing a different Lego set on Costco. I bought the Zelda Deku Tree set, and they just threw that one in for free, so it's like, okay, cool. I don't really care about it, but now I have another Lego set that I didn't have to pay anything for. Sweet! I did also make another big purchase recently, or actually earlier today. And it's been something I wanted to purchase for a while now, I just kind of forgot. The Persona 30th Anniversary Funko Pops. I bought me those. I bought the one for Joker, I bought the one for the Persona 4 protagonist, and the two for the Persona 3 protagonist. I bought all four of those. Wow, no love for the Persona 1 and 2 protags. Yeah, I wanted to buy those for a while, and I kind of forgot to. So now I bought them again. Or not, I looked them up again, and I finally bought them. But on top of that, I also bought another game that I kind of forgot even came out. Mortal Kombat Legacy Collection. The game collection that has Mortal Kombat, like that, Mortal Kombat 1. The very first Mortal Kombat game, all the way up to, I think, Deadly Alliance. So it doesn't have Mortal Kombat Armageddon, it doesn't have MK versus DC. But you know what? Being able to play all those games, including games like Sub-Zero Mythologies and Special Forces, even though those games suck, hey, it's still it's still something, right? It's not necessarily easy to access those old Mortal Kombat games these days. So yeah, I'll pick it up. I bought the Switch 1 version because why the hell would I spend, what, 15 extra dollars for the Switch 2 versions? Like, why? Just why would I do that? And also, I'm glad I held off on buying it because it was sold for $10 off. So instead of $64.99, which is an outrageous price for all of these games, I bought it for $54.99. But I still had to pay. I still had to pay $10 shipping. So it's like, well, why even bother at that point? Man, this is why I don't purchase from EB Games. They charge you for shipping. This is why I prefer to buy off of Best Buy. But Best Buy didn't have $10 off. I would have ended up paying the same price anyways. But because I was also buying the Funko Pops from EB Games, I figured, instead of picking it up at the store, let me just ship it to me. It adds like $1 to the $10 shipping. It's like, whatever. Also, does anyone else experience some weird shenanigans whenever going on to the EB Games website and trying to log in? Because when I do it, I get this white screen that says the owner of this domain or whatever has temporarily banned you. It's like, what the hell? It's not even the first time this has happened too. Like, was my account blacklisted or something? Well, fine. Screw you guys and your business anyways. I am just waiting for that perla-ding sound effect, only to see it be a big shiny. For a second, I thought one of these looked different. So Pal World recently got updated. I think it got updated to like 1.0, so it's no longer in beta. And while it is kind of a shell of its former self before Nintendo removed or made them remove a bunch of stuff, I see the statistics online that it's like the most played game on Steam. Beating out what? Dota? Oops. What the hell was that? Just looking at that, like, what is that? It looks like, kind of looked like an alpha ambipom to me, but they don't spawn here. You know, I saw tons of alpha cadabras when hunting for the alpha magnemites, which I still haven't gotten any yet. Can you believe? I kind of feel like alpha magnemite might be the hardest one yet, simply because intense sun and thunderstorms are so frequent, constantly ruining my timer to get a space-time distortion to spawn. It may be worse than the Coronet Highlands. But I just gotta keep in mind that this is the last one. This is the last one I need to do. Just bear with it a little bit more. Just do it a couple more times and you'll get what you need. And then you never have to do this again. Why am I picking these up? Just out of curiosity. Nope. Oh yeah, I also hear that a Pal World trading card game is on the way. Maybe already here. I don't know. Aw, why couldn't you be shiny? Remember, folks, I tested it out. It works. A shiny Mime Jr. here does end up in a shiny... What? An Alpha Mime Jr. here does end up as an Alpha Mr. Rime in Legends ZA. It works. Oh yeah, I also finally figured out partially the reason why I have so little Pokeballs left in Pokemon Go. Aside from catching the 1500 Pokemon with Eternatus and hoarding all the berries to use the best buddy stuff, I have over 500 golden raspberries in my game. I got all those from GoFest, raiding all those Mewtwo's. I was using the silver pineapples to catch them. I pretty much never use my silver pineapple berries. I only use them for special events like this. Because you get them so infrequently. To me, it's just not worth using it only for a Pokemon to just then not catch. So I just never use the silver pineapple berries. For a while, I did use it on every single scatterbug I got, just because I had too many. I had too many, and I just wasn't using any of them. Well, I got nothing else to talk about. Can you believe I was about to really do this without the shiny charm? You know, I wonder what that sound actually is whenever you quick travel and you hear that sound. Oh, you want to hear a really stupid shiny hunt challenge I had in mind? Alright, so hear me out. In Pokemon X and Y, there are only so many ways to get certain shiny legendaries into that game. You could shiny hunt Articuno, Zapdos, Moltres from Oraz, and then use Pokemon Bank to transfer it back into X and Y. However, there are a couple of Pokemon that you cannot send back as shiny. At least, maybe I'm wrong about this. So, let me know if I'm wrong about this. I almost said Reshiram. Kyogre, Groudon, and Rayquaza, because they have primal forms. I think there might be a way to bypass that. You can transfer Kyogre and Groudon into X and Y, like from Oras into X and Y, but you can't shiny hunt them in that game, so who cares? So, like, Kyogre, Groudon, Rayquaza, it doesn't matter, because you can't shiny hunt them in Oras anyways. So, what I'm getting at is, the only way to get Kyogre, Groudon, Rayquaza shiny into X and Y is to hunt them from a game prior. Anything before Gen 6 and send them up. You know, back when the shiny odds were the full odds, except for Black and White 2. I don't remember if Kyogre, Groudon, and Rayquaza could even be caught in that game, let alone shiny hunted. I don't remember. I don't think so. So, that's a pretty stupid shiny hunt challenge I thought of. Get shiny Kyogre, Groudon, and Rayquaza into Pokemon X and Y. So the only way to do that is to hunt them in literally any generation before Gen 6. So anything from Gens... Well, actually, I almost said 1 to 5, but they weren't in 1 and 2. So any gens from 3 to 5, you hunt it in those games, and then you transfer it up to X and Y. I wonder how many people have actually done that. Like, not just done it casually, like, oh, I'll send all the shinies I've got into this new 3D game. No. Actually, purposely hunted them with the intention to put into those games. Like I do, you know? How I intentionally shiny hunt Pokemon to put into other games. Because I like that. I like the way that... I like that aspect that you could do if you choose. Certain Pokemon you just cannot get shiny in certain games. Only way to get them shiny into the game is to hunt it from another game and then transfer it into that game. And it is a fun little challenge. You know, majority of the legendaries are shiny locked in Legend ZA, so the only way to get them shiny in that game is to shiny hunt them from another game and then transfer them in. Same goes for a lot of other games. Same goes for Legends Arceus. That was exactly the case for Legends Arceus. But for X and Y? Yeah, I really don't have anything to talk about. Why? I mean, you're not what I want anyways, but why? See, this is why I talk about shows and films when I do these, because what else am I going to talk about? I saw on the Nate Wants to Battle channel that an animated music video for his Enjoy the Show song just posted. Amazingly, 10 years later after that song released, now we got an animated music video. Now, I'm not gonna lie to you guys, I love that song. That is my favorite song of his. His Five Nights at Freddy's sister location, Enjoy the Show song, where Jacksepticeye has like 2 lines. Or 3 lines. That is my favorite Nate Wants to Battle song. You know, it's a real shame, at least in my opinion, it's a real shame the direction the Five Nights at Freddy's franchise has gone. It's just not that, engaging anymore. The Five Nights at Freddy's franchise just isn't really that interesting to me anymore. The original, what, 6 games? Or was it 7? You know, it's easy to lose count. Sister Location was 5. What was after? No, I think it was 7. Sister Location was 5, and then Pizzeria Simulator was 6, and then Ultimate Custom Night was 7. So the original 7 games, that story was fantastic. Sure, it changed like halfway. You know, it changed when the 4th game came out, but still, the story for the first 7 games of Five Nights at Freddy's was amazing. And then after that, we got Help Wanted. We got Security Breach, which really screwed up the story. We got Help Wanted 2, and then we got Secret of the Mimic. I'll be honest, I couldn't even get past Secret of the Mimic. I just couldn't finish that game. Like, it just wasn't good to me. So I don't even know what the story is for Secret of the Mimic. I tried to get through it, it's just not compelling to me. Like, there's... is it bad if I say the game doesn't visually look that interesting to me? Like, to me, the entire game kind of looks the same. Like, you explore one area, you explore another, and it's like, nothing really changes. Nothing interesting ever happens. I don't know what the ending of the game is even like, too. One day I'll get through it, but at the moment, it's just not a game that interests me. And ever since Secret of the Mimic, I kind of just haven't kept up with the franchise. I don't know what next game is coming out, if they announce a new game yet or not. I'm sure if they did, I would hear it, right? You know, from what I hear, before Secret of the Mimic, games like Help Wanted 2, Security Breach, the story was going down the route of Glitch Trap, like an AI copy of William Afton, a digital virus. But then I hear Secret of the Mimic put an end to that story, and now we're going to focus on the Mimic. I don't know, man. I don't know. I mean, part of the reason I kind of fell off of Five Nights at Freddy's is the fact that, well, if you thought the lore was confusing before, it's more confusing now. Especially Security Breach. Security Breach really screwed everything up. Like, the story for Security Breach, in my opinion, was abysmally told. I don't want to say it's necessarily Scott's fault, but, you know, he's so secretive with his story that he didn't want Steel Wool to know what the story was. He just told them, alright, here are these hints of a story, put it into the game. And, well, they did their best to fill in the gaps when Scott didn't tell them what to do. They just said, well, Scott just said, put this Easter egg here, put that detail there, and you don't know what the story is. So they did their best to fill in the gaps of connecting the hints, the details, the Easter eggs. And we got this jumbled mess of a game whose plot barely makes sense. Like, Scott, buddy, please hear me when I say this. When you developed the games yourself, you had full control of the story. You were able to tell what you want. But I understand you can't produce these big AAA 3D free-roaming games. You have to tell them what the story is if you want the story to be conveyed to the fans properly. Also, we're coming up to 12 years for Five Nights at Freddy's. Isn't that crazy? The first Five Nights at Freddy's came out in 2014. Oops. Hey, where'd my berries go? Did I not save again? Or did I not reset again? Yeah, 12 years of Five Nights at Freddy's. Oh my god! I've never seen this before! Look at all those cricketots! 1, 2, 3, 4 cricketot outbreaks. And it doesn't help that Baneri, Wormpole, and I guess Shallows as well, their colors kind of blend in, so it all just kind of looks the same. I am tempted to go to those cricketot outbreaks and see 4 of them. Do I even get 1 shiny? I am tempted. Another gripe I have with Five Nights at Freddy's is that it's no longer 5 nights at Freddy's. You know? Security Breach was technically 1 night at Freddy's. 6 hours at Freddy's. Okay, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna see. 4 of these, do I get 1 shiny? I mean, it kind of stopped being 5 nights at Freddy's ever since... let me see. I don't remember how many days Pizzeria Simulator take place over. And, well, Ultimate Custom Night doesn't even have Five Nights at Freddy's in the title. I guess neither does Pizzeria Simulator. Whoa! An alpha. I am alpha. You know, I saw this post. Whoa, 2 alphas! What are the odds of that? I saw this post, this YouTube short saying if Negan and Maggie actually will end up as a couple. I even commented on it too. I commented, did you forget Negan has a wife and son? It is kind of easy to forget, but yeah, he has Annie and Joshua. Bruh, if Negan and Maggie hook up, that would be one of the worst choices ever. That will be one of the worst choices up there, alongside killing off Carl. I saw some of the comments saying Glenn died 16 years ago. She should be able to move on at this point. But not with her husband's killer! Like, no. I would hate it if Negan and Maggie became a couple. I would hate it! You have one job to do, writers, and it's not to write that. I don't know if it's true or not. We've in universe, it's almost been 16 years since Glenn died. Maybe. Because let's think. Glenn died around 2 to 3 years into the apocalypse, and then we got a year and a half time jump, and then 6 year time jump. So it's been 7.5 to 8 years since Glenn died. And then let me think. In the finale, we had a year time jump. And then it's been what, at least 2 years before Dead City takes place? Dead City begins? Whoa, an Eevee outbreak. I just got to check it out. But yeah, I really do wonder where the franchise is heading. Because soon we will only have Dead City left. And it does kind of seem like they're really stretching out the storyline of Dead City. The whole premise of the show to begin with was Maggie and Negan teaming up to go to Manhattan to save Herschel. Well, they did done do that already. That Eevee was sitting. I hate this Pokeball. You know, I was pressing B so my character would stop crouching, and it just did not work. Where even is the next one? There it is. Is that it? That's it. And last up, out of curiosity, what's in this tree? In case... Nope. I really have nothing to discuss, to go over. As if I haven't gotten enough Pikachus lately. Oh, you want to hear something that happened earlier today at work that got me so scared? So, my boss, my manager, the guy in charge, doesn't really show up that often because he's busy doing other stuff. But every now and then he'll show up on weekends just to, hand out paychecks. And obviously, okay, so when it's not busy at work, and, the boss isn't even there, I just do whatever I want. Just like how my coworkers also... My coworkers also do whatever they want. So I'm not gonna lie, I do bring my Switch to work, and I do space-time distortion wait, and I do alpha hunt. But, today when the doctor was here, it was busy, so I'm obviously not gonna do that while it's busy at work. So what I did instead was I was just charging my Switch in the back, waiting for the busy times to be over so I can just do whatever when it's quiet. So I was charging my Switch in the back, and then the boss comes in. I'm thinking to myself, do I really want to do this? Like, while I'm not using it, do I really want to risk charging it? Just for the boss to come in? Like, he sees, whose gaming console is charging here? Who plans to be gaming while at work? That bot in chat didn't even show up on screen. Or did it? I didn't really pay attention. I just went to ban it. So yeah, I had my Switch charging in the back, so then when the boss came in, I was just like, oh shit, he's gonna see it. But luckily, I caught a break. Because before he really sat down, he walked back out to buy us all lunch. Because whenever he shows up, he does buy us lunch. Because he also owns the place that serves the food. Hence why he's too busy and he doesn't really show up ever. He has a lot of other places to manage. So, when he left, I saw this as my opportunity. Okay, quickly get into that back room and hide your shit. Unplug everything you have charging and hide your stuff. So I unplugged and put away my Switch. I also unplugged my portable charger because while I'm here, I may as well charge it here and use this place's electricity when I'm off on the go, right? So yeah, I really quickly ran to the back to hide all my stuff before the boss came back. To this day, working at this new place, I have yet to have a single conversation with him because he just doesn't really show up. And whenever he does show up, it's busy outside, and inside, well, that's where he stays. He's just stays inside to like hand out checks or whatever. I don't know what he does inside. And he has one of those tones where it's loud and straight to the point. you know? So it's kind of like, I don't want to say that kind of intimidating tone that someone has, especially when it's your boss. And I don't really see this guy smile. I don't know, at the moment he kind of gives off a dude who takes no nonsense and is also very busy, has a lot of things to manage, to be concerned about. So he seems like a very well-organized guy who wants everything done properly. All I can say is I hope he's fluent in English, because I don't speak Mandarin and my Kanto ain't that much better. Okay, let's go investigate this. And this time I have the proper balls in my hands ready. That's the wrong button. I didn't mean to stand up. Why am I even bothering to sneak around for these guys? Whoa, those guys ran far. Is that it? Oh, a new horde. And it's Mr. Mime again. I'm seriously starting to be convinced that an Alpha Mime Jr. horde can't even happen. And just out of curiosity, if there was a shiny in the tree, clearly not. Well, since I got nothing to talk about, I'm just playing Pokemon Go on my phone. Well, a couple more minutes and then I will end for tonight. Are we not gonna get a shiny phase tonight? Did I even get something today? No, I did. I got a Shellos today. I didn't even remember. Does that even count as a phase? Does that even count? Because that was from the mass outbreak. Always counts. You know, there was another hunt that I wanted to do. And that goes back to what I was saying earlier, how certain things you just cannot hunt in certain games. So the only way to get them is to hunt them from a different game and then send them over. What I wanted to do was hunt every single Vivian form shiny, obviously from Scarlet and Violet, and then transfer them into Legend ZA. That's something I wanted to do. But to do that, I would have to assemble a lot of specific location postcards from Pokemon Go. And Pokemon Go does not make it easy to track where each postcard, or rather what each postcard gives you. In fact, there's really not many sources out there are that are really helpful into telling you exactly where each postcard will get you. Honestly, it may be easier for me to just start over. Go online and request friends, like brand new Pokemon Go friends, for every single location, regardless of if I already have them or not. That may be the easiest way to do it. Well, I obviously don't need some place like the US, considering I have tons of random friends on Pokemon Go who are from the US, but I don't know if different places in the US give different Vivian forms. So that's another hunt I want to do in the future. Every Vivian form from Scarlet and Violet and put them into Legend ZA. I would not do Meadow or Garden, considering you can find those in Legend ZA. But what I will do is, when the time comes, hunt them in ZA as well. That way I have all the forms shining. I'm very amazed they actually did not bring back Pokeball form Vivian. Even as like a special event. Kind of like how Mewtwo, Diancie, and Mega Garchomp Z, those were all special events you had to get from the internet. I'm amazed they actually did not do that. I would say I'm holding out hope that maybe the next generation, maybe Gen 10, maybe Winds and Waves, will have Vivian, what? Will have Pokeball Vivian as their native form. What are the chances of that being the case? I kinda doubt that. I doubt it very much. But please, prove me wrong. They did make Fancy the default form. Yeah, the default form for Scarlet and Violet. Maybe they plan to do this 2 times in a row. Not counting ZA, of course, since Meadow is obviously the default for that one. By the way, no shame in feeding. Did you hear what I said earlier about a particular hunt for Pokemon X and Y? Which, that's not even the right way to phrase it. To put into X and Y. If I'm crazy enough, one day maybe I'll actually do it. But issue is, I don't have the games of which to do so. I don't have Ruby, Sapphire, or Emerald. I don't think you can catch them in Diamond, Pearl, Platinum? Correct me if I'm wrong, I don't think so. You for sure cannot in Black and White, I think. And I'm pretty sure no for Black and White 2. Yeah, I really should probably research this, actually. Okay, I have a Mime June. First, let's go check out over there. Oh, for a second I'm like, what is that shadow behind me? That was a tree. There's a random Alpha Pichu over here. That is actually pretty rare, an Alpha Pichu. Aw. And you know what? Hold on, let me look something up real quick. Okay, just as I thought. Pichu is a 50-50 for male and female, so that Alpha Pichu being female isn't rarer. Just to be sure. But you know what? I actually will go and catch that Pichu, just because Alpha Pichu is pretty rare. I don't need it, but why not, right? Where was it again? It was just out here in the open, next to where the... Yeah, right there. You can tell when Pokemon are mine, because I only catch with regular Pokeballs. Okay, I'll do one last check and then I'll call it for tonight. It's not like I got anything to do after this anyways. Nah. And nothing for tonight. Oops. Okay, I'll see you guys next time.